That's an interesting place we live in. We'll pick up on that in a bit. ABC News correspondent Mark Remillard is following the Volkswagen story. Mark, welcome to Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you.
All right, how bad is it?
Well, you got some 11 million cars who have this engine installed in them with these defeat devices. So this is a major scandal for VW. They're in damage control right now because you have to not only weather this storm of surviving what could amount to possibly $18 billion in fines and other penalties resulting from this. But you have to weather that, and then what you have to do as well is gain back your consumer trust and your investor trust. You've circumvented regulations here, and millions of consumers feel like they've been duped. They bought these diesel cars thinking they were clean diesel cars, and then, here it is to find out that, no, I've been polluting at a much higher rate than what I thought I bought. Yeah,
okay, that's the one. But how much cost is it going to be to fix the cars?
Well, right now, VW is going through and coming up with this comprehensive action plan is what they're working on, and this is they're looking at having to fix 5 million cars at this point. So there are 11 million cars with this engine and the defeat device installed, but the new CEO, Matthias Mueller, says that while they have the software, not all of those cars had it activated. So they're looking at 5 million cars right now. What this plan entails in terms of what fixes have to be done is not clear at this point. The action plan hasn't really been released. It's kind of ambiguous right now. Plus, you have to look at this, and each regulatory agency might have its own thing. So the fix in the U.S. might be different than what it is in Europe or Spain or some of these other countries that have been affected by this.
What's interesting about this is normally when there's a recall, it's because of a faulty part, a faulty device. This is faulty or just misplaced or misguided software, right?
Right. So it could be, in some cases, possibly just a software fix. That's possible. Or depending on whether or not the cars without this software, or if they have this software upgraded, will still meet regulations, isn't quite clear. It appears that the cars would pass with the software not circumventing it. So when the software isn't being activated in the lab tests, the car was passing the emissions that it needed to, otherwise it wouldn't be on the roadways. But once it got out of the lab, the software turned off or whatever it was, and then now you have these cars polluting a lot more. So it's not necessarily clear exactly what will have to be fixed. Likely for most of these things it will probably be a software fix, but that's not entirely clear, and it would depend on each agency.
If you're driving a VW now, how are you supposed to know if your car is guilty or not guilty?
VW is going through and they're working on this plan. They're going to submit this plan to regulators next month. That will be for approval, and then they're going to go through and notify customers. So if you have a VW, keep your ears open, listen to the news, listen to reports, expect to see maybe a letter in the mail or some kind of contact from VW once it's time for them to give you some directions on what you're supposed to do. The good news is, at least for right now, you shouldn't have any concerns about the safety of your vehicle. There's no concerns there. As you mentioned, other recalls involve these faulty parts that make you wonder, am I safe to drive this car? Yes, it's just polluting more. Now, VW is working to fix this. It says it's working as fast as it can. And so you're safe to drive your car. Just continue to monitor reports and make sure that you're aware of whatever the next steps are once VW has kind of laid those out.
Mark Remillard, ABC News correspondent. Thanks for checking in, Mark.
Absolutely.
You got it. 6:23 here, Big 550 KTRS. Coming up, traffic and weather.